Rich Gussenberg,
Here.
Sean Kimball,
Here.
Sarah Stevens Morling,
Here.
Jeff Solon, Greg Rosenblatt,
Here.
Chris Daddy, Megan Rockwell,
Here.
Dennis Ryu,
Here.
Chuck Neff.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, we do have a quorum. And first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. So we will ask everyone to please do that. I pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
To the
to
flag
the flag
of the United
of the United
States of America and to the
to the
republic
republic
which it
for which
stands,
it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
visible,
indivisible,
liberty,
with
and
liberty and
justice.
justice for all.
Okay. We have several invoices to take care of.
Correct.
First invoice, I have, let's see, what am I looking at here? North End.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that up on the screen, Rich. It's not.
This is why I enjoy personable meetings rather than
Yeah.
online meetings.
Now, the files are large, so they're buffering. I can't get it to come up on a PDF.
That's all right. Everyone had a copy of it. Hopefully
Rich,
they know.
would you like me to try and share my screen? I have them.
If you
all up.
could, yeah.
Let me. Okay, so invoice packet for the North End.
Yeah,
it is.
there you go.
Perfect.
That's the one. All right. So the first one is invoice 25056. Other consultant for MP planning, $1,766.25. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, so moved. Second,
So move Dennis. Second was
Sean.
Sean. All right. Vin, did you want to jump in on this for a second and explain what that is?
Yes. So this is the invoice for April for MP Planning. MP Planning is Mike Suba. They were at our meeting that was held last week. They bill monthly, so the April invoice was missed in the package going back a couple of months, so that's why it's in today's package. And then you'll see later on, actually 2 invoices down, there's another MP Planning for $5,298. That is the normal monthly billing amount that we've been seeing and will continue to see till the contract is over. That contract value is roughly $35,000.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
aye,
Aye.
Okay, I heard ayes. Anyone opposed? Then it's unanimous. Go to the next one. Invoice number 13143 for testing services to TestCon Incorporated, $13,097.40. Do we have a motion
motion to approve,
from Dennis? Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
Any opposed? Say nay. Okay, you have unanimous vote. Invoice number 25090, other consultant, MP Planning. This is the one Vince was just talking about. $5,298.75. Do we have a motion?
motion to approve,
Motion to approve for Dennis, second.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
And opposed, please say nay. And it's unanimous. Next is 36051-911. Owner Representative Services, Arcadis, $14,260.72. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Yeah, Dennis, you're on a roll. And do we have a second?
Second.
Second, okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Seeing none or hearing none, we have a unanimous vote. Let's see, invoice number 12, construction manager, O&G, $3,009,798.08. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All those in favor? Oh,
Second.
motion to approve second. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, okay. Any discussion on this? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, please say nay. It's unanimous. And last one, we have invoice number 48428, Architectural Services, Tecton Architects, $63,805. Do we have a motion?
Might as well.
Okay. You're on a roll.
Okay.
Second. I did. I put it around the corner because it was making so much noise. I have a motion. It's been seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, please say nay. And it's unanimous. Okay. Ryan, can you put up Norton? There we go. All right, invoice number 13109, Material Testing Services, Testcon Corporation, $42,715.56. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second?
Second.
Second, okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? That's unanimous. Invoice number 24320, Environmental Services, Eagle Environmental Incorporated, $3,939.20. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All right, any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, please say nay. And it's unanimous. Invoice number 360-51876, Owner Representative Services, Arcadis, for $15,081.46. Although, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Dennis, a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, please say nay. And it is unanimous. Let's see, next one is invoice number 12, Construction Manager, O&G, $273,382.67. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Dennis. A second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, please say nay. And it's unanimous. And lastly, invoice number 48429, Architectural Services, Tecton Architects, $54,945. Do we have a motion
Motion to approve.
to approve from Dennis? Second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, please say nay. And it's unanimous. Okay, those were all the invoices. We now have some PCOs. Rich Sidnick, you want to walk us through?
Yeah, so the first ones that Ryan has put up are for the North End project. And therefore, a change in material for the bleacher seating, that was a credit. And then a sprinkler backflow valve for, I believe it was on site, right, Ryan?
Yes, sorry. It's for in the fire room. It's on the fire pump. It'll be a check valve that is installed on the line that goes out of the building. This would be, if you're flush valve line, if you're doing service on there and you need to remove the water. O&G had an experience this recently at Farmington High School where a very similar system was installed without a check valve. And during a very cold stretch this past winter, some cold air had made its way through the outside cover into this empty pipe that goes to the fire pump and backflow preventer, and caused that preventer to freeze and ended up doing a very large flood in the mechanical room. So we brought this up to Kohler Ronen's attention. This was all brought post-bid to Kohler Ronen. They have identified this as definitely something that's a need and something that will be standard procedure for them going forward, is my understanding, is part of their design, but it was not included in the design of this project at either North or Norton. So this one is the proposal for North. The Norton proposal, we are still chasing down the pricing from our fire protection sub over there.
Okay, well, let's take these one at a time. Do we have a motion to approve PCO 007? Bulletin number 10, changes to bleacher seat material for a credit of $1,138.
So moved.
So moved. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion?
What was the change? It was from wood to polymer, or what was the change in materials?
I can take that, Mr. Chair. For the record, Justin Hopkins, Tecton Architects. It was for a change of material from wood, which was part of the specification, to a plastic seat. So that was reviewed with the district and aligned with their preference for plastic seat, not wood. And that material change resulted in a credit.
Okay, thanks.
So this was at the request of the school district.
Correct.
Any other discussion?
Hey, excuse me, who was the first and the second? I couldn't understand. I couldn't figure out the voices.
Who seconded the motion?
I seconded the motions, Chuck.
Chuck did, okay.
First?
Oh, that was me, Greg.
Okay.
All right. And Dennis and Chuck, you've reviewed this?
Yeah, we have.
Yes,
Credits are always good.
those are the quicker ones.
Yeah, okay. All right, if there's no other discussion, then all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, sorry, I couldn't unmute.
That's okay. And anyone opposed, please say nay. And it's unanimous. All right, second, PCO 01, I'm trying to read this very small writing here. 010R2 for bulletin number 4, sprinkler backflow valve, $4,716. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Greg
Right.
and
I was, okay, and who
I'll
seconded
second
it?
it, Chuck.
Chuck,
Chuck, okay.
okay. And Dennis and Chuck, you reviewed this one?
Yeah, we did. We had asked for additional information, which came last Wednesday before the meeting.
Okay. And you're recommending approval?
Eh,
I don't know that goes down in the record, but
hey, question, was the room in Farmington heated?
Yes, my understanding it's heated, it was insulated, but this pipe runs directly outside, and with that, the prevailing wind from, that we had, it was a very cold day. That did, cause this to, this to freeze, and it did result in a significant flood that, overwhelmed the floor drain that was in that room. But yes, it was a conditioned part of the building.
And you said the
Okay.
pipe was insulated?
The pipe being inside the building is not an insulated pipe. The pipe just goes to a spout on the outside. The spout does have a cover on it, but just with the, with the extreme temperature they had during that period, enough cold air was able to make its way in through that pipe and cause the backflow preventer to freeze, thus allowing, freeze in an open position. This check valve is an additional, so this is a valve that will stop any air from coming through. Will have to be opened when you want to flush or drain the system, but it creates a barrier between the potential for a cold air to get to the backflow preventer.
So is the valve heated?
I'm sorry, is what heated?
Is the valve heated?
No, the valve is not heated, but it is a closed valve, whereas the backflow preventer, has the ability to freeze in the open position.
Yeah, but the thermal bridge is the pipe.
I would have to defer to the design team on this. I don't have the specific expertise on this to be able to answer that question.
any other comments or questions?
My understanding is if they design this again, knowing what they know now, that this valve would be in there, right? It's probably not something we would ever pick up on during our review as a committee, but
No,
trusting
agreed.
that they would have laid it out correctly with that in there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, that is my understanding. Is this has now become a standard install, or what they will carry in future drawings and future plans on all their buildings. They're going to make this standard.
Yeah. If I can just jump in here, again, Justin from Tech Time. I'm not sure that I can answer Dennis's specific question. However, to be clear, it's an additional safeguard. It's not something that was missing from the documents, but due to past experience by both the sprinkler subcontractor and O&G, it was a recommendation to install as a belts and suspenders enhancement to this system, which has now become part of Kohler Ronen's standard specification.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of bulletin number 4 or PCO 010R2, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? And it seems it's unanimous. Very good. All righty.
Hey,
no-
Mr. Chairman, we have 3 on the Norton School.
Yep.
The first one is an ad for additional contaminated soil that was determined during the testing that there was an additional amount that was actually contaminated, could not stay on the property, had to be removed. It was in addition to the quantity that was originally approved by this committee 2 months ago.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve PCO 017R1 for $13,709?
So moved.
So moved. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Chuck?
Chuck?
Discussion, Dennis, Chuck, you've reviewed this?
Yeah, this basically taps out our site allowance from ONG. That's why it's an additional to the GMP.
Mhm. And we really had no option on this. I mean,
Nope.
it was beyond our control. Other
Correct.
comments or questions?
Would this be the end of the contaminated soil, or might there be future bills for removal?
It's the end of the contaminated soil from the soil that we have stockpiled and tested. I can't speak if we get into the demolition of the building and that there is a potential to find contaminated soils under that building that when we do the demolition. But as far as the construction of the new school goes, we have no indication of any additional contaminated topsoils or soils in relation to that build. It would only be when we do the demolition and excavations out in front of the building for the new parking lot. I can't speak to that until we get into that. But for now, this is all the topsoil that was stockpiled, what they called Mount Norton, as well as the stockpile that was over by the pond, have all been tested, and this is the final from those two piles.
Okay, thanks.
Rich, I also want to add that, as Dennis noted, this taps out the allowance for the contaminated materials. And part of the allowance also allotted a certain amount of money for some contaminated soils during the demolition of the building. I think it was maybe some around the oil tank.
They approved all.
Ryan?
Yes, this is right here. So we had carried 150,000 for contaminated soils. We also carried 10,000 for the underground storage tank that will need to be removed during demolition. ACM removal and disposal of existing water service, 10,000. The construction of the temporary bituminous parking lot we will no longer need. That was 77,400. And then any lighting corrections after we did the work in this summer, which we did not incur. So again, these were numbers put in to carry a certain value. You do not have to use this allowance for those specific values or for those specific activities. It can go for any site work revision. So that's why this is all allowed under the allowance, but we have exhausted that. And that is why you see a $13,000 add to the owner's contingency here, because we've exhausted. 34,918 was what we had remaining after paying for the other soil testing and contaminated soil removal. And so the balance of the balance plus ONG's markup on that balance comes to the 13,709.
Correct. Ryan, can you put up that allowance again? And the only point I was trying to make, though, is that if there's a need for asbestos containing material removal of the water service, as well as the contaminated soil around the underground storage tank, that will also have to come back as an add to the GMP. We carried allowances, but we're exhausting it for this. And if we do encounter those things during the demolition, we'll have to do an add to the contract.
But whatever the difference was going to come out of that owner's contingency anyway. So you're not really doing anything.
I can't tell who was talking. I couldn't understand what was said.
This is Chuck. I'm saying,
Oh.
if we didn't use it now, we'd still be paying the fee on it. So you're not doing anything different, I guess, is what I'm saying. You're just exhausting what the allowance was. And if that other stuff comes back around, yeah, it's going to hit the owner's contingency. But we either hit it now or we hit it later. It's the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Is this soil on-site or off-site at this point?
It is not offsite, it's still stockpiled. We are waiting for approval of this before we scheduled trucks and got this moving, but they will have it gone by the end of next week is my understanding.
Okay. Other comments or questions?
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to note, Rich and School Building Committee, that Mr. Daddy has joined me here in the conference room at Town Hall. So he is on the meeting now.
Oh, okay. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks. Sorry I'm late. I sent you a text, but probably too late.
Yep. Yeah, I saw the text. That's okay. Thank you. Other comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of PCO 017R1 for a cost of $13,709, please say aye.
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 Opposed, please say nay. And it's unanimous. Rich, turn it back to you.
Next item is the change in materials for the bleacher seats, same as over at North End. We're doing the same thing here at Norton. So it's bleacher seating that was wood. Now it's going to plastic. It's a credit.
All right, do we have a motion to approve PCO 019 for a credit of $1,504?
Motion to approve.
Okay, Dennis, second?
Chuck.
Chuck, okay,
Okay.
we have a motion,
Yeah.
we have a second. We've already discussed it. Is there any other conversation, have a discussion on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, please say nay. And it's unanimous.
Okay,
Rich.
yep, the final item for approval tonight is the request from the school department to change over the plumbing fixtures at Norton from what was carried in the bid to the Sloan, which is, I think, that is the school standard. And O&G got a price from the plumber. I think it was half what he was projecting it to be, but this is what this is for, is to basically conform all plumbing fixtures to the school department standard.
Yeah, when I originally, mentioned this as an order of magnitude a few months back, we had estimated for order of magnitude of 20,000. The actual cost came in at 10,803, and then the additional you see above that is O&G's markup.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve PCO 020 for $11,127?
I'll make the motion.
Is that Greg?
Chris,
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, okay, thank you, Chris. And a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Greg. Discussion, I know Vin, you've had some conversation on this. Why don't I start by asking you if you'd discuss the need?
Sure. So, I'll start with, I know that Dennis and Chuck did review this as part of their work, and they, do not support it. So I did want to offer an explanation and ask for some, mercy from the school building committee on this. So, this is part of something that we tried to do from the beginning of the project, where we would try and standardize to the extent we can anything that is installed at the two new schools, and to the extent it's necessary to standardize that with the, in this case, plumbing that we have at all our existing schools. Sloan has been the standard in our schools for many years. We think it is superior to American standard. But that aside, during design, we even provided specs to the design team for Sloan. Now, it's important to note, I think the committee is aware that when we put anything to bid under this school construction, the state requires us to allow, different products to be swapped out or, to be replaced. So that's what happened in this case. In Norton, the plumber spec'd American Standard, but over at the north end, they did spec Sloan, which is our desired provider. What's important to note is that all changed. The state does not require anymore approval for sole source. And if that were the case when we bid this, we certainly would have gone sole source with Sloan, and this wouldn't have been a change order request. And along the lines of that, the state, we believe, may reimburse this now. You know, in the past, it used to be that if you made a change like this, it may not be reimbursable. I know that's not definitive. You know, Justin or Rich Sitnick could weigh in on that, but you know, there's reason to believe this PCO of 11,000 may be reimbursable at the 50% rate for Norton. Just a couple of more points to add here. When we do our own, you know, project work in the schools, you know, we have spec Sloan, you know, as the plumbing fixture and parts of choice. So it's not that we're asking for something new with the new school construction. It's something that we've always done, even with bids that we've done on our own prior to this project. And, you know, I think this is a case where, you know, because we stock Sloan parts in all our schools, and I did provide Chuck and Dennis some pictures of the inventory that we have in our schools, we're able to swap parts between schools when we're out. You know, I will tell you that in our elementary schools, it's hard to imagine how often we have failures of the plumbing parts. So, you know, having an inventory, having the ability to purchase our parts in quantity for all our schools, hopefully Barnum as well, would be helpful to us. So, you know, that's the long and the short of why we would like to stick with Sloan, you know, and ask that the school building committee support this PCO. And I don't know, Justin or Rick, you just want to add about
Mr.
this.
Chair, if I can just jump in here, just for a point of clarification, it was the same specification for both projects, but they had 3 listed manufacturers. So on Norton, we received the desired product. That was the basis of design. On this one, it was one of the other listed manufacturers. So same specification, it would just different products were ultimately submitted by the subcontractor. Second item is Vin is absolutely right. The state has changed their sole source procurement regulations, which requires, it does not require pre-authorization anymore by the State Office of Grants Administration, provided that it aligns with the local procurement regulations within the district. So they've basically taken that authority out of their administrative approval and placed that decision and determination on the local municipality.
Thanks, Justin.
Yep.
Dennis, Chuck, would you like to discuss your analysis at this point?
Yeah. This is the beginning of a slippery slope. I think the minute that we start nitpicking what the contractor is trying to provide for the project, we probably start ending up in trouble. Next thing, I mean, going to a totally ridiculous extreme. Next thing, we're going to start sole sourcing paint, just because that's what Vinny has in his basement. That's not the way to build a building. In my mind, the open source specification works exactly the way it's intended to be. So I'm going to be a no on this one.
Chuck, did you want to jump in?
No, Dennis, I like when Dennis goes first because he's a lot more eloquent about it than I am. But I'm also going to be a no on this. I think it's again, they provided an or equal if that's how it was. So I'm good with what we have.
I would just like to say that the or equals were mandatory per state rules for the designs team. So you have to provide two alternate, in quotes, air quotes, I'll say equals, but you have to provide two alternates. So they did provide that. It wasn't alternates that we said we don't really care. It was alternates because if we wanted any hint of reimbursement, we had to do it that way. So I'm not saying that should change your vote, but just a point of clarification that the alternates were required as part of the process at the time.
No, totally get that, but obviously they were not equal.
Well, that's Vin's point as well.
Yeah.
The spare parts aren't equal, the functionality in their experience isn't equal, and we're not just building a building, we're building one building that is part of an entire Board of Ed. And there are, I see Vin's point where, there is economies of scale when you're looking at spare parts, you're looking at the ability to stock spare parts, the ability to, the knowledge for repair and replacement, and, so I understand that as well. And I think that's why I'm on board with it. I don't disagree with Dennis with what you said, that it's a slippery slope, but I don't feel we're, and I guess this is just subjective, but I don't feel we have a group of abusers that are going to try and get every single doorknob to be a certain thing and every light switch and every Phillips screw and all of that. This one, I think, has some good justifications, some background. So for me, I'm in favor of it. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, the point that I made at the meeting last week is that in order for us to recoup that money, we would literally have to break every single urinal, toilet, and flush valve, because that's what this change order is for. It's not like we're not getting urinals and toilets and flush valves. So as they break, they can be replaced with Sloan as part of the operational cost of the school. This should not be a construction cost. That's my 2
Other
cents.
comments? I will just jump in myself. I have a great deal of respect for Dennis and Chuck, and I really have appreciated the analysis they've done on the various change orders that we've had up to this point. In this case, I've spoken to Vin, I spoke to Rich Clavitt. I thought they made a very strong case about trying to standardize materials within the district, the training that goes on, the storage of materials. And although initially my feeling was that, I would not support this, I have changed my mind after speaking with them. So I will be voting in favor of it.
Is there any word on whether or not the changes with the state would move this to reimbursable? Because that would essentially make the cost half, right?
Yeah, Chris, I'll answer that one. We've had that discussion in our office, and Emily Cifuentes, who is our expert on reimbursement, believes that this is a legitimate reimbursable cost. Because to the points that Vin said, right, which is that it doesn't go against the district's procurement laws, and this is something that is a standard for the school department. So, our feeling is that this is something that when it goes to audit and is reviewed at the change order level, that this will be considered a legitimate change.
I'm just jumping in quickly as a person who currently works in a giant organization. And I just, I really understand the value in this standardization. I will be voting yes on this. That's just my own 2 cents.
Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of PCO 020 for a cost of $11,127, please say aye.
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 Aye. How many ayes?
Those opposed?
Nay.
Dennis, nay.
Okay, do we, I think we're going to need to do a roll call vote on it just to make sure, since we have a divided group. So let me just go through the names, please. Chris,
Aye.
I'm voting aye. Sean,
Yes, yeah, aye.
Chuck,
No.
Dennis,
No.
Megan,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Dr. Solin's not here. Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, the motion passed. All right, any other items for discussion at this point?
We have no other items to present.
Okay,
Yeah, Rich, what was that change order that came yesterday?
Yeah, so there was an issue with the handicap the handicap stalls at Norton, and there was a bulletin that was issued by Tecton. It was priced by ONG, and I think, you know, with the price that was submitted, Tecton came back and said we can come up with an alternative. There will be no cost, and so therefore this became a non-issue. Justin might be able to you know, shed a little more light on it, but Tecton came up with some solutions that are a no-cost change.
It was the placement of 4 back-to-back handicap toilet locations within the handicap stalls. In our field review, we realized that they were shown to not provide the diagonal entry into the toilet stall. At the time of our review, we were not aware that all of those 4 sets had been installed, and felt at the time when we issued it, it was simply a move of the carriers about 2 feet to the left or down the wall. After we issued the directive, we understood that those carriers had been installed and that there was a cost associated with relocating them. We frankly had issues with the hours that were represented in it, but after looking at it, we determined that we can simply accommodate that diagonal entry by shifting the opening of the toilet stall down. And those shop drawings have not been released yet, so we can capture the corrective action in time to have it be a no-cost issue.
And to be clear, it's our expectation that there'll be no cost change to sliding a door on the toilet partitions that have not yet been procured.
And Dennis, I would agree with Tecton on this. I did check with the vendor today. They have not been released. They do their field measurements before releasing. I would also like to apologize to this committee and take full responsibility for this confusion. I jumped the gun on getting this out to Rich Sitnick prior to getting full feedback from Tecton, and did not give them the time they needed to fully vet this out. So this is all on me. I apologize to this committee for that. This will not happen again. But it was just something that, in the desire to make sure we could maintain schedule and whatnot, I got a little overeager and sent this out a little early to Rich Sitnick. So I do apologize.
Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you staying on schedule. So thank you, Ryan. Any other comments or questions? All right, I thank you all for jumping in this evening and getting this done. We, as you know, usually have a beginning of the month meeting scheduled for next Thursday. I haven't talked to all of the people yet to determine if that's needed. As far as I know, it probably is not, but I will get back to you on that. And then assuming that we don't have that meeting, I'll see you all at our meeting the end of September. Okay.
Alrighty, thanks.
Do I have a
Thank you.
motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved,
Second.
Chris.
Who's
Second,
that?
Chris.
Who's?
Chris moved it and Dennis seconded it.
Thank you.
And all those in favor? Aye.
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 Those opposed? And not surprisingly, that's unanimous. All right, thanks, everyone. I'll see you.
Thank
all.
you. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.